Welcome to the Global Vision Support Services training module on clients' rights and confidentiality of consumer information. In this module, you will learn how to uphold every client's fundamental rights while protecting their sensitive personal information. You'll explore key principles of confidentiality, privacy best practices, and your important role in building and maintaining trust. By the end of this training, you will be better equipped to deliver respectful, ethical, and compliant support to the individuals we serve. Let's get started. Let's start with the foundation of our care, client and member rights. Transparency is key to our relationship with those we serve. Because of this, every client is formally informed of their rights at the time of admission and again annually. It is also important to note that clients have the autonomy to designate a representative to act on their behalf if they choose. When a new client arrives, it is our responsibility to provide both the client and their representative with a physical copy of our client's rights and responsibilities handout. Most importantly, these rights must be explained clearly and thoroughly before any services begin. This ensures that everyone is on the same page and feels empowered from day one. Moving on to our core commitment to privacy and safety, we have a non-negotiable obligation to ensure the confidentiality of all personal and treatment-related information for every individual we serve. This extends beyond data security. It includes the fundamental right to a personal privacy and a respectful treatment of all personal property. Furthermore, we provide an environment free from abuse, neglect, humiliation, or any form of exploitation. Our role is to foster safety and trust at all times. Lastly, we ensure that every client has full access to their own records. Giving them copies of information they need is essential to helping them make informed, independent decisions about their own treatment and care. Let's talk about advocacy and rights resolution. Our commitment to our clients, it goes beyond daily care. It also includes ensuring they have a voice and the support they need to exercise their rights. This means providing access or referrals to legal entities whenever they require appropriate representation. We also actively support our clients in connecting with self-help and advocacy groups to help them navigate their journey. We take our responsibility to protect these rights very seriously. If a client ever feels their rights have been infringed upon, they have a clear right to an investigation and a formal resolution process. Finally, our guiding principle is always to provide care in the least restrictive environment possible, ensuring that every decision we make prioritizes the client's independence, dignity, and personal freedom. Let's talk about informed care and environmental safety. Well, next, we want to focus on the standard of care and transparency we owe to our clients. Every person in our care has the right to receive treatment that is both adequate and humane. As part of that commitment to quality, we provide evidence-based information regarding all available treatment options, including alternative modalities and medications, so that they can fully participate in their care planning. We also believe in financial transparency. Clients have a right to understand the costs of services and be informed about what will be billed to their insurance, as well as any out-of-pocket responsibilities. And finally, we prioritize a safe, stable atmosphere. This includes the right to be protected from behavioral disruptions caused by others, ensuring that everyone's environment remains calm and conducive to their treatment goals. Let's talk about access, crisis support, and grievances. Our dedication to service continues with 3 vital components: accessibility, crisis management, and feedback. First, we offer 24-hour crisis intervention to ensure our clients have support exactly when they need it most. Second, we are committed to providing equal access to treatment for everyone. Our services are available to all, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, age, or sexual orientation, or source of payment. We believe in inclusive, high-quality care for every member of our community. And third, we recognize that our processes should always be subject to review. Every client has the right to utilize our formal grievance procedure. We value this feedback because it allows us to continuously hold ourselves accountable and improve the way that we serve you. Let's talk about transparency in treatment. Transparency is at the heart of the care we provide here at Global Vision Support Services. When treatment is initiated and revisited throughout the process as necessary, our staff is committed to keeping you fully informed. We want every client to have a clear understanding of the purposes, goals, techniques, and procedures involved in their care. We'll also discuss the limitations, potential risk, and benefits of the services being provided. Our staff takes proactive steps to ensure that you understand the implications of any diagnosis, the intended use of tests and reports, and all details regarding fees and billing arrangements. Our goal is to ensure you feel empowered and well informed every step of the way. Let's talk about freedom of choice. Here at Global Vision Support Services, we believe that an effective therapeutic relationship is built on partnership. Because of this, we offer our clients the freedom to choose whether to enter into treatment, as well as the ability to determine which provider will work with them. If there are ever any restrictions that might limit those choices, we make sure to explain them fully so you always understand how your care team is selected. In consent and representation, we recognize that not everyone is able to provide voluntary informed consent on their own. In situations where we're treating minors or individuals who are unable to provide consent, we work closely with their parents or legal representatives. Our staff ensures that these individuals are empowered to act in the client's best interest, also ensuring that the necessary care is provided safely, ethically, and with proper authorization. Let's talk about open communication and grievance resolution. We prioritize a culture of openness where clients are always free to discuss any issues that may be interfering with their recovery process. We want to hear from them. If a situation arises that requires formal attention, we have a clear grievance procedure in place. For our purposes, a grievance is defined as any circumstance for which there is a just cause for protest. Please know that we take these matters very seriously. All complaints should be reported to the Client Rights Committee as well as the Administrative Director. Additionally, you are encouraged to discuss any concerns directly with your clinical supervisor. Our goal is to ensure that all grievances are addressed quickly and resolved effectively. In this section, we'll be talking about protecting your information and the release of information process. Now, let's discuss the protocols we have in place regarding the disclosure of information. Global Vision Support Services will not release any information, written or otherwise, without a properly executed release of information form. Your case and billing records are strictly confidential and remain inaccessible to anyone. with the exception of authorized Global Vision Support Services staff and our contracted partners. Please be aware that records may also be reviewed by authorized licensing, regulatory, or accrediting bodies as well as for our own internal quality assurance reviews. These safeguards are in place to ensure both your privacy and the highest standards of care. When a release of information is requested, it must be officially signed and documented to ensure your consent. To be valid, each release must clearly include the name of the person about whom the information is being released, the specific content to be shared, who the information will be shared with, and the purpose of that release. Crucially, the form must be signed and dated by the person who is legally responsible for the client. Once authorized, these releases remain valid for a period of 1 year unless they are revoked earlier by the legally responsible person. This process gives you total control over who has access to your personal information. While we are dedicated to your privacy, it is important to understand the legal limits of confidentiality. By law, there are specific circumstances where we are required to disclose information. This includes situations involving intent to harm oneself or others, the abuse or neglect of any individual, the presence of certain communicable diseases, or if a client leaves our facility without authorization and authorities must be notified. We may also disclose information to your attorney, the Department of Corrections, emergency health care providers, or other North Carolina mental health facilities when necessary to coordinate your care. All such disclosures are handled strictly in accordance with North Carolina General Statutes 122C-52 through 122C-56 and our internal policy guidelines. There's a notice of disclosure policy. To ensure full transparency, our agency provides every client or their legally responsible person with written notice at the time of admission regarding these disclosure policies. We explain that in the specific circumstances outlined by law. Certain information may be disclosed without your express consent, and we take this step to ensure there is never any confusion about your rights or legal obligations. To document our compliance, we note that this explanation has been provided to the client and that record is kept securely in the client's file. With documenting information and disclosures, finally, we maintain a rigorous audit trail for all disclosures of confidential information. Whenever information is shared outside of specific legal mandates, a designated employee must document the interaction in the client's record. This record includes the name of the recipient, the extent of the information disclosed, the specific reason for that disclosure, the date and the signature and title of the staff member who authorized the release. This same procedure applies when sharing information with other service providers. Furthermore, please note that we will not release information obtained from secondary sources to other providers without the client's explicit written authorization. Let's talk about safeguarding information, record management, and security. Our commitment to privacy applies to every form of information we handle, be it written, verbal, and/or electronic. Every member of our staff is expected to work diligently to safeguard this information at all times. Remember, never release any information in any format without a properly completed release of information form. Access to all consumer and billing records is strictly limited to authorized staff and our official contracted partners. Keeping this information secure is a shared responsibility that we all take very seriously. When it comes to handling physical documents, consistency is key. If a copy of a care plan is created, it must be treated with the same level of care as the original. Once those copies are no longer needed, they must be disposed of properly. But remember, you must never, under any circumstances, destroy an original document. To prevent unauthorized access, all records must be kept under lock and key. For efficiency and security, please ensure all files are organized in alphabetical order by the client's last name. We've reached the end of this training module. Confidentiality is the cornerstone of the trust of our clients place in us, and your role in maintaining that standard is vital. For further information or review our detailed member rights and review our privacy policies. Please visit the official MCO websites listed on your screen. These resources provide the member rights brochures and privacy notices that govern our work. Thank you for your commitment to excellence and for providing the highest level of care for those we serve. Congratulations, you've successfully completed the Global Vision Support Services module on clients' rights and confidentiality of consumer information. You now understand how to protect sensitive consumer data, respect every client's rights, and maintain the highest standards of privacy and trust. Your next step is to complete the short training assessment and testing. Please proceed to the testing area when you're ready. Make sure you submit your test. Thank you for your commitment to excellence in supporting our clients. Your dedication makes a real difference.